Hello YouTube, this is Brian, and today I'm doing my best Eric the Car Guy impression. If you don't know what I'm talking about as far as Eric the Car Guy, he does a lot of repair videos. If you search for him on YouTube, you'll find all kinds of stuff. Watched him replace engines and all kinds of other interesting things. The other day he did the rear wheel bearing on an 04 Ford Explorer, and I've got an 03 Ford Explorer, and so I thought, maybe I'll have to do that someday. And so I was very interested in watching it, and I watched him argue with that thing for, it must have been hours. It only ended up being a 45-minute video or so, but a lot of work to argue with that thing, and using a lot of tools that I don't have. But having watched him so long, I've been inspired to do a lot of things. I've already kind of tried to do as much as I can with my cars. So I wanted to say thanks, Eric. You do a great job on your videos, and also pay a little bit of homage to you by doing my own repair video. The other morning I got into my 07 Honda Fit, that's what we're driving in right now, and tried to turn the cruise control on, and the button that turns the system on would not stay depressed. If I held it down and pressed set, the system would function normally, but as soon as I let go of the power button, it didn't work. So I went and verified with Honda that it is in fact just a dead switch, not a dead cruise control system, and they got me the part, and went and picked that up today, and they gave me the procedures to put it in. It's not really a big deal. I have to pop the airbag out, and several screws, do the system, or do the switch, a couple of harnesses, disconnect the battery. But I wanted to try to make a video of doing this because it wouldn't be terribly long, and again to kind of say thank you to Eric the Car Guy. So here it is. Thanks, Eric. Right, the other morning I came out to go to the gym, and I went to use my cruise control, and I've already disconnected the battery, so I can't show you the lights, but this is the main power button, and when you push it, it's supposed to stay down, but it doesn't anymore. And so the cruise control is not working. When I hold it down and set it, it'd work, but then as soon as I let go, the computer turns off and I've got no cruise control. I use it all the time. It's my speed ticket avoidance system. So I've got to replace it, and so I went to Honda and got the part, and that's here in this bag. So I've got to replace that, and it requires removal of the airbag system. That's why I had to disconnect the battery already. And so that's the process I'm going to show you as best I can. So step one is to come in here into this panel and disconnect the airbag. Looks like we've got a locking pin in here. Yeah, gotta figure out how to get this locking pin out. My guess is the Honda techs have got a little key that slides over the end of this thing and releases both sides of this at the same time. So I'm gonna have to find something of the sort. I'll be back. Alright, I think I'm back with a couple of tools that will work. No, it just slid. It wasn't even the tools that got it. So that's step one, is to disconnect that. Now, I've got to get right up in that hole there and get that torque screw, and then come in on this side and do the same to pull the airbag out. Okay, now I've got my Torx bit, and I'm gonna remove the airbag here. Come on out, you. It's free, just doesn't want to come out. Let's get the Torx on the other side. It definitely helps when you turn the screwdriver the correct direction. I may need a little bit of leverage to knock that one loose. Didn't take much more. Alright, those guys don't want to come out. Time for a magnet. So there's one. Put him right there. Number two doesn't seem to be quite loose enough yet. That ought to do it. There's two. And there's our airbag. And just for the time being, I'm going to disconnect the horn. Or maybe I will just set it aside and not worry about disconnecting the horn, because I think I can get at everything I need to get at here. So I left the screwdriver in the garage. Yeah, looks like I got one screw up front here. It's coming out easily. My magnet. I've got two screws in the back. Now for that guy, I'm going to need to use a little bit set up here. Or find a pocket screwdriver. I'll be back. Alright, the solution here isn't pocket screwdriver, it's turn the wheel so that you've got access to the screw holes. And then you simply undo them. I hope. I think they're Phillips. It's saying remove 3 screws, and I do not see any more on the front. Let's see what the back of this thing's supposed to look like, yeah? 1 and 2. There's a post down here at the bottom where this kind of punches into the rubber. And that just slips under, that slips under. So yeah, there's 2 screws right there and there. And then I'll have to disconnect that harness and this little connection just will sit right there until I'm done. I did lock into it. Two screws. Those are both longer. So this was the screw from the back, and this is the screw from the front. You can see that the one that was in the front here going in this way is shorter. So I have to set those separately so that I remember which is which. And that should free up this assembly. And go ahead and pop on out of there. Old switch. Broken button. New switch. Button works. Stays in. Yay! Now I simply reverse this assembly. Connect the harness. Snap this little harness back into place where it was. I have no idea exactly what that's to, but things tend to work better when they're hooked up properly. Now let's replace our two screws from the back. Actually, I'm going to do the one in the front first, just so that it's not popping out on me while I'm trying to push these other two screws in. Between that and the little mount down in here, that should hold it still while I replace the other two screws. Ah, there we go. I guess this is the downside of smart steering wheels. You really can't put great access on the front, so it has to be on the back. But a steering wheel inherently has poor access on the back. So there we go, new switch installed. And everything's even with the other side. So now we reconnect the horn like this. Heard a good snap in there. Make sure to thread the bottom cable of the ABS back down in so that it's accessible below. And that really does just sit right in there until I reinsert my Torx bolts. So we'll start on this side. Just get it started. And we'll get the other one started. Had enough experiences cross-threading things recently that I definitely don't want to do this. That's why I'm being pretty gentle until I know I've got it lined up right and it starts moving on its own. The other side got going. Maybe I will have to start with this side. Snug. I'll turn this one down snug. Alright, it's not moving. Spacing looks good. Let's reconnect the airbag and replace the harness. And now replace the guard. Oops. I put the harness in the wrong spot. There we go. Alright, now let's go reconnect the battery cable and make sure, verify the repair. Alright, let's go ahead and unhitch you. Got my battery on because I'm getting a sound. So, oops, I left the blinker on. So I've got normal lights there. A good start. You can see I need an oil change. Go ahead and clear that one. But the engine's cold, no SRS. The horn works. And the cruise control stays on. Yay, repair verified. So that's how you swap out the cruise control switch on an 07 Honda Fit.